With us today is Michelle Johnson. Michelle is a loan expert, both commercial and residential, over in Defuniak Springs for CCB Bank. And today we're just going to kind of talk about all things North Walton County and Defuniak Springs. So Michelle, if you would just kind of introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yes. So like you said, I'm Michelle Johnson. I work for CCB Community Bank, and I've been in lending for several years now, but primarily commercial and residential the last 5 years. So been in banking over 20 total, and been with CCB the last 5 years as well.
So tell me a little bit about what you like about banking. What is like the stuff that keeps it interesting for you?
Yeah, so I am a people person, so I really enjoy just the different engagement with different types of people, on the retail side as well as the loan side. So I'm always up for a challenge. So banking is one of those things for me. It can be on the lending side as well as retail side. There are challenges that arise. And it's just helping people, finding that resolution that's good for them and good for the bank. And that's what I enjoy the most about my banking career, is helping people.
And so in Walton County, there's some opportunities. There's also some challenges going on right now. Can you talk a little bit? I think the biggest billboard one right now is like we're talking a lot about tariffs and how it's affecting home building and stuff like that. What have you seen in Defuniak Springs? Is that a big part of the calculus right now when it comes to buying homes?
Yeah, so we're seeing a little bit of it on the new construction side. Probably not as much as other parts of the country, but we are seeing some of it. It's getting to the point where building a house for a contractor, they could pretty much nail it down to a specific dollar figure. They knew what it was going to cost them out the door to build the house, and they're having to make some adjustments for certain things. Walton County, specifically in the north end of the county, we do have a affordable housing shortage. So what I have found is some of the contractors that were building specifically custom built homes are now going to more of the spec side of things, where they're building it more on the affordable, side. So more like your 2-bedroom, 2 baths, under 200,000, something someone can actually qualify for and can get into, but still be a nice home, with minimal problems. Right, because insurance too is an issue in Walton County. So homeowners insurance has risen substantially and can ultimately make a home unaffordable for somebody. So a newer home kind of mitigates that. The insurance costs are significantly less. So we've seen that as kind of a plus, in purchasing a new home.
So you're seeing, I for lack of a better term, as I understand it, like the premium that you might pay on a brand new home is pretty much the same difference of like what you would be paying for a home that's already been built a little bit older and therefore has a higher insurance premium. Correct.
Yes.
And so you've got to calculate all that. And how are your buyers receiving that?
It's tough. Where it used to be, they thought purchasing a new home was unobtainable. Or maybe building their own home was unobtainable. It's kind of getting to the point where it is a possibility. Now, you may not be able to have all the lavish, amenities or extras, but you can have a very decent brand new home for a reasonable price. And then with your insurance costs being less, your escrow is lower. And so therefore, your monthly mortgage payment's lower. And rent around here is fairly high as well. It's risen in the last couple of years substantially. So it's getting to the point again where purchasing a home is cheaper monthly wise than rent, if you can qualify.
Are you seeing a lot of people coming into Walton County from either outside of Walton County in Florida or from another state entirely that are now moving this way into North Walton County that might otherwise go into like South Walton or Niceville or something like that?
Yeah, so we have seen an increase of people moving down from the north end of the country, as well as South Walton. So, we have found that, again, with the insurance issues, what would have a more higher insurance rate than South Walton? Your home's down there. So, when you can sell your home down there for a good price, you can purchase a substantial amount of land up here, build a very nice home, custom built home, and your insurance costs be half of what it was on the beach. So who wouldn't want to do that? The beach is only 45 minutes away. So, it's not like you're moving, hours away from, the most beautiful beaches in the world. So, but we do find an influx. We've got a lot of folks moving down here from up north, but that is always been customary for our area, mainly for, a lot of it's retirees, just wanting to relocate. We don't have state taxes here. So that's always a plus and incentive for them to relocate here as well. And of course, the affordability of housing here as well.
Moving on to like the more commercial side of things, what trends are you seeing right now in North Walton County when it comes to commercial buildings?
Yeah, so commercial's tough. We don't have a lot of commercial availability here. It's definitely a build market on the commercial side. So if you're looking for commercial space, you're having to build that commercial space. And we do have, we've got quite a bit going on north of I-10 and some south of Interstate 10 as well, where we've got a lot of new commercial buildings going up. And, a lot of it's lease space. Some of it is, for sale, but the majority of it lease space. So hopefully in the next, I think the next 12 months or so, we might have some more availability for lease space in our market. But right now there's definitely a shortage of that for sure.
What has the bigger shortage right now, residential or commercial?
Definitely commercial. Residential, up until maybe I would say 12 or, 14, 15 months ago, residential was our biggest shortage. And what has happened is the homes are sitting on the market a little bit longer. So it has created, a healthy inventory now. Now, I'm not saying it's affordable, but we do have substantial, availability on the residential side. So commercial is definitely our shortage. That's our issue right now.
So if somebody's looking to start a business or buy a home in Walton County or really Florida, in general, anywhere, is the discount, for lack of a better term, in North Walton County substantial compared to South Walton County or Okaloosa County?
Yeah, it's still, our build rate, your price per square foot is cheaper up here for sure. It is the exact same situation as on the residential side. So, insurance, property tax wise, all that stuff there is a significant difference on the north end of the county. A lot of it, has to do with South Walton has actually, they're building like crazy, of course. But a lot of the issues is, again, affordability of what's available out there for commercial. Commercial rent in South Walton's very high, and as to be expected. But up here, you can get twice the square footage for, what you would pay down there.
Wow. So like it's literally half the cost per square foot.
Yes.
What other things do people need to consider if they're maybe like me and they're looking at moving into North Walton County, or if they're from further afield? So let's say New York or Wisconsin or something like that. What are you telling people right now as they're trying to kind of get their ducks in a row together for a loan or for any sort of preparation to move into North Walton County?
Yeah, so I tell everyone to start. The first thing I actually tell them to do if they're interested in a specific piece of property or real estate to get some insurance quotes. I find that whatever the quote ends up being, that could be a deal breaker. So that's usually what I tell them to do first before anything else, because you want to keep your expenses as minimal as possible as far as what you're out of pocket. So that's the first thing I tell them to do. And if they can find a decent insurance rate, then it's just finding the right lender, to get you in the right product and an interest rate you can afford. But it's really just kind of looking at everything that's available to the customer, and then just trying to figure out what's the best avenue for them, depending on their situation.
Sorry to
It's
interrupt.
okay. It's okay.
So just to kind of, I guess, wrap it all up, why Michelle? Why CCB?
So, what I think sets us apart the most is truly the personal touch in our customer service. So my customers are like my family. I live in this community. My children go to school in this community. So I see these folks every day. And so it's important for me that they're successful. If our community is successful, CCB successful. So, I feel like we do a really good job at making sure that our customers are that they're successful. They can be a good value to our community by whatever we can do, whether it's on the loan side or maybe on the deposit side, getting them set up to do business in our area and hopefully be very successful.
All right, so we're going to try something new, and I'm going to see how it looks in the video. But I want to do kind of a lightning round about Defuniak Springs and North Walton County, just asking you kind of your favorite things about it and why you like that thing. So I guess first things first, what is your favorite hidden spot in North Walton County? What's the most underrated place in North Walton County?
Anywhere closer to the Alabama line. So you get on any Highway 2, 1883, and your nice long drives. It's just beautiful countryside. Very, very beautiful land, property. It's very relaxing, and just everything that you can imagine for, beautiful countryside. Everybody always thinks of us as the beaches and palm trees, and, we have so much more than that.
Let's just say your mother-in-law or your aunt that you haven't seen in 15 years is coming to town tomorrow. She didn't tell you about it. Where are you going to take her for dinner?
Oh gosh, that's a good one. We actually have a new restaurant in town in Defuniak off of the Lake Yard, Baldwin Avenue, Iron and Grape. Fantastic dinner location, Italian, very, very good. Mom and Pop owned. They own a few other restaurants, but this is the only one they own here in Defuniak, but definitely a great place to eat. But there are several.
The best Walton High sports team is blank to watch.
Oh my gosh.
Your favorite one to watch?
The football, Walton High School football, for sure. But I'm a football fan, so Walton High Braves, yes.
And let's see, last one is, would you prefer to have either April be in the month of April in Walton County or in the month of November in Walton County?
November for sure. November
Why?
for sure. We start they start decorating our lake yard. We have a beautiful Christmas display around our lake yard, and they turn it on the weekend after Thanksgiving. And we have hometown Christmas. We have so many things that happen that time of year, and it's just beautiful here. It's a little cooler than April too. So, but November's definitely would be my pick.
The best thing about living in North Walton County is blank.
Everything. I mean, I couldn't even pick, the schools are wonderful. The people are wonderful. Your quality of life here is just, it's great, so I would have to say everything. I couldn't pick something in particular.
Well, perfect. Michelle Johnson with CCB Community Bank, thank you so much for your time and for humoring me on the lightning round. It's good to see you,
Yes.
and we will talk to you again soon.
Thank you. I appreciate it.